You can tell a lot about how much a man loves you, not by what he says in public, but by how he touches you in private. Because when a man's love is real, lovemaking stops being physical and starts becoming personal. When a man's love is genuine, one of the most telling signs during lovemaking is his presence. Not just physical presence, but mental, emotional, and spiritual presence. He's not distracted. He's not thinking about something else. He's not going through the motions or trying to follow some imaginary checklist. He's truly with you. Every part of him is engaged in the moment, and that presence becomes the most intimate form of connection he can offer. In contrast to a man who's simply seeking a physical release or validation, a man who genuinely loves you treats intimacy as something sacred. He isn't trying to perform for an invisible audience or prove something to himself. He's not in his head wondering whether he's doing things right. Instead, he's grounded. He's still. He's aware of the space between you and how that space feels. He notices your breath, your reactions, your comfort level. He becomes deeply attuned to the unspoken signals, reading them like a language only the two of you speak. This kind of presence can't be faked. It's not about technique, tricks, or trying to impress you with his experience. It's about emotional availability. When a man loves you, he wants to experience you, not just your body, but your presence, your spirit, your energy. He makes space for that. He slows down, not just physically, but mentally, so he can actually feel you. And not in the superficial sense. He wants to feel what this connection means. There's no sense of hurry, no desire to move past the moment. Instead, time seems to stretch. He doesn't treat lovemaking as a goal to achieve, but as a shared moment to live inside of. His focus moves away from self and onto the shared energy being created between the two of you. He's not checking out, he's checking in. With every touch, every breath, every moment of eye contact, in these moments you feel safe, not because he said the right words, but because you can feel that he's not somewhere else. He's with you. And that kind of presence builds trust. It sends a message without needing to say a word, a message that says, this matters to me, you matter to me. And the beautiful part is that presence doesn't end with the act itself. When a man shows up for you fully in those moments, it's often a reflection of how he shows up for you in the rest of life. He's not a part-time lover or a part-time partner. His presence is steady. Real love doesn't check in and out. It stays. And during lovemaking, that becomes incredibly clear because the man who loves you isn't thinking about the next thing. He's not fantasizing about someone else. He's not lost in ego. He's lost in you. And that presence becomes the most powerful proof of how real his love truly is. When a man's love is real, lovemaking becomes so much more than just a physical release. It becomes an extension of his emotional bond with you. His desire is no longer rooted in just attraction or chemistry. It's rooted in connection. When he genuinely loves you, physical intimacy isn't just about what happens in the bedroom. It starts long before that through the emotional closeness he builds with you every day. The physical part is simply the expression of everything he already feels. But before he even touches you, he makes you feel seen. He communicates in the way he looks at you, in the way he listens to you, in how he holds space for your feelings and thoughts. He's emotionally tuned in. He knows that intimacy doesn't begin with touch, it begins with trust. A man who loves deeply will make sure you feel emotionally safe with him. He doesn't treat sex like a transaction. He treats it like a conversation, one that speaks the language of love, trust, and care. For him, the emotional connection is the most exciting part. It's not about simply getting something from you. It's about creating something with you. He doesn't rush. He doesn't push. He leads with sensitivity. You can feel that he's not trying to use the moment as an escape from reality. In fact, it's the opposite. He's using the moment to get closer to you. He's not looking to disconnect from the world. He's trying to connect more deeply with yours. This emotional intimacy shifts the whole experience. When a man loves you, your emotions matter to him. Not just in everyday life, but also in the most private and vulnerable moments. If you're stressed, he senses it. If something's off, he checks in. He's not just aware of your body, he's aware of your state of mind. And he adjusts with care and gentleness. He doesn't treat lovemaking like a one-size-fits-all performance. He treats it like a unique and living moment between two people who truly care about each other. There's no pretending when a man's heart is in it. He lets you feel that this is not just a physical act to him, it's an emotional experience. It's how he shows you that he cherishes you, how he pours love into the space between you. In those moments, you feel it clearly. He's not there because of lust alone. He's there because he wants to be close to you. Not just your body, but your soul, your essence, your emotion. That's what real intimacy feels like when it's fueled by love. It's not about what he can take, it's about what he wants to give and the bond he wants to grow. When a man truly loves you, one of the most powerful shifts you'll notice during lovemaking is how he slows down and becomes deeply attuned to you. It's not just about pace, it's about presence, sensitivity, and awareness. He isn't in a rush to get anywhere. He's not thinking about reaching a goal or achieving some kind of performance. Instead, he wants to experience every moment with you, and he wants you to feel every moment with him. This slowing down is intentional. It comes from a place of respect and care. He's not trying to dominate the moment or control it. He's allowing it to unfold naturally with space for both of you to feel everything more deeply. He's not pushing forward with urgency. He's moving with patience, with curiosity, and with love. He becomes a listener, not with his ears, but with his whole body. He pays attention to how you respond, to the smallest cues, to your breath, your expression, your energy. He lets those signals guide him. When a man's love is genuine, he wants to know what feels good for you. Not just physically, but emotionally. He wants to know that you feel safe, that you feel seen, that you feel desired in a way that's deeper than attraction. Slowing down gives him the space to make sure of that. It allows him to connect with you beyond the surface level. He's not chasing pleasure as much as he is building connection. And that connection needs time to breathe. There's an emotional rhythm he finds, one that matches yours. He's not just bringing his own energy to the moment, he's blending with yours. That blending creates harmony. It feels like you're both moving through something together, not just physically, but emotionally. In this space, you're not just being touched, you're being understood. That understanding builds trust, and trust makes everything feel more intimate, more real. His patience also speaks volumes about his intentions. When he slows down, he's showing that he's not just there for his own satisfaction. He's there because being close to you, feeling you respond, and knowing that you're emotionally and physically fulfilled, that's what satisfies him. He wants the moment to be meaningful for you, not just exciting for him. And he knows that real connection can't be rushed. It has to be felt, created, nurtured, moment by moment. When he loves you, the pace becomes a reflection of how deeply he values the experience and how much he values you. He's not treating this like something casual or mechanical. He's treating it like something that matters. That intention, the slowing down, the tuning in, the listening with his body and heart is what turns the act into an expression of genuine love. You can feel the difference when a man is not just in it, but fully in tune with you. When a man's love is genuine, the moments after lovemaking carry just as much weight as the act itself, sometimes even more. That's when his true intentions become most visible. Aftercare isn't something he does out of obligation or habit. It comes naturally because he genuinely wants you to feel cared for, connected, and emotionally held. He understands that intimacy doesn't end at climax. It continues in the way he stays with you, physically and emotionally. There's a certain softness that comes over him. He doesn't roll over, check out, or disappear into silence. He stays close. He touches you with tenderness, not out of routine, but because he wants to stay connected. He kisses your forehead, wraps his arms around you, and holds you like you matter beyond the moment. That physical closeness is a silent message. It says, I'm still here, and more importantly, I want to be here. And his words in those moments are different too. They're unguarded. They might not be grand declarations, but they're real. He might whisper something simple, something playful, or even say nothing at all, just stay close and breathe with you. But whatever he does, you can feel the emotional intimacy still flowing. It's not a shutdown, it's a continuation. That emotional warmth doesn't fade, it lingers. Because it was never about just the physical. It was about being emotionally open and fully present. You also notice how safe you feel in his presence. Not just physically, but emotionally. He doesn't make you feel like you have to jump up, get dressed, or return to the outside world immediately. He creates space for you to simply be, to rest, to talk, to exist in that quiet afterglow without pressure. He's not rushing to escape the moment. He's creating room to stretch it, to enjoy it, to let it settle. That calm, unhurried energy communicates that he's not just interested in the pleasure, but in the bond that the moment created. And in those moments of stillness, the vulnerability deepens. That's when people often open up. You might talk about things that matter, laugh about something small, or simply lay there in silence. But that silence feels full, not empty. It's filled with the comfort of knowing this isn't just physical for him, it's emotional, it's real. Aftercare also means he's attuned to how you're feeling, not just physically, but emotionally. If something felt off or emotional for you, he notices, he checks in. Not because he read it in a book or saw it in a video, but because he cares. He doesn't leave you to carry whatever you're feeling alone. He stays present. He makes it clear that you're not just a moment in time. You're a person he values beyond the physical. That's the difference love makes. It shows up after, when there's nothing to gain, only something to give. When a man's love is genuine, one of the most telling signs is his vulnerability during lovemaking. This is where the masks drop, the ego relaxes, the walls he might carry into the outside world begin to dissolve. He's not trying to be perfect, and he's not hiding behind confidence or performance. Instead, he becomes real, soft, open, and fully human. When love is at the center, vulnerability becomes not just acceptable, but beautiful. He no longer feels the need to impress. He wants to connect. And connection requires truth, not perfection. In these moments, you see a side of him that he doesn't show to the world. Maybe it's the way he looks at you, not with lust, but with emotion. There's something in his eyes that tells you he feels safe with you, safe enough to let you in. He's not afraid to show his affection, not afraid to be gentle, not afraid to pause and just feel. The moment is no longer about being in control or leading everything. It becomes mutual, shared, raw. His expressions aren't filtered. His movements aren't rehearsed. He's simply present without the armor. Vulnerability in this space also looks like emotional honesty. He might not say everything with words, but his energy says it all. The way he touches you, the way he holds you, the way he breathes around you. There's no distance, no pretense. He's showing you who he is when the world isn't watching. This is the version of him that doesn't need to act strong because he knows real strength is being willing to be seen. Sometimes vulnerability looks like silence, not an awkward silence, but a deep one. A moment when nothing needs to be said because you both feel the depth of what's happening. Other times it shows up in the smallest gestures, a kiss that lingers, a hand that doesn't let go, a soft smile after your eyes meet. He's letting himself be emotionally naked, not just physically present. That takes courage, and that kind of courage doesn't come from desire alone. It comes from love. You may notice he opens up emotionally in ways he normally doesn't. Maybe he talks about things that matter. Maybe he shares something about his past or something he's afraid of. It might not even be a big confession, just the simple act of not hiding, not filtering. He's giving you access to the part of him that's real, the part most people never get to see. And he does it because he trusts you. Because he wants this moment to be more than just an experience. He wants it to be a reflection of the depth you share in this vulnerability. You realize he's not just loving you, he's letting you love him. That's the difference. He's not only giving something, he's allowing something in. That's the most intimate form of connection. When a man isn't just strong for you, but soft with you. When a man genuinely loves you, lovemaking stops being a one-sided experience and becomes something deeply mutual. He no longer sees it as a moment to satisfy his own desires alone. Instead, he is fully invested in creating something shared, something that feels good for both of you. His focus expands beyond his own pleasure and shifts toward yours, not out of obligation or strategy, but because it brings him genuine fulfillment to see you feel joy, safety, and deep connection. There's no taking, only giving, exchanging, responding. It becomes a dance, not a performance. In this space, he becomes curious about you. He pays attention to the way you respond to his touch, the rhythm of your breath, the way your body reacts. He listens not just with his ears, but with his intuition. He's not trying to guess what works. He's tuned in, watching, feeling, adapting. Your pleasure becomes his priority because your happiness isn't something separate from his experience. It is his experience. He takes his time because he understands that true intimacy is not about intensity, but sensitivity. He's not there to conquer you. He's there to meet you. He doesn't see you as someone to impress or overpower. He sees you as someone to share with, to explore with, to move with. The act itself stops being goal-oriented. It becomes fluid, responsive, natural. Every moment is an opportunity to feel something real together. And when you feel safe enough to let go, to trust, to be fully yourself in his presence, that's when he feels the most connected to you. Your pleasure is not just welcome, it's celebrated. It matters to him on a deeply emotional level. There's also a level of emotional generosity in how he holds space for you. If something feels off for you, he notices. If you need to slow down, shift, or even stop, he honors that without hesitation. Not because he's trying to be good, but because your experience matters to him more than his own gratification. That kind of selflessness is a sign of emotional maturity, of love that runs deeper than surface level chemistry. This shared experience becomes a mirror of your relationship as a whole. It reflects how he listens, how he supports, how he gives, and how he loves. It becomes about unity, not ego. And when it's over, you don't feel like something was taken. You feel like something beautiful was created, something that only the two of you know, something that can't be replicated because it's not based on moves or moments. It's based on meaning. When a man loves you, lovemaking becomes an offering. He's not keeping score. He's not chasing an outcome. He's simply present, open, and fully engaged in your shared experience. He's not trying to win anything. He's already won by being close to you. And in giving to you, he feels more deeply connected than any selfish moment could ever provide. When a man's love is real, it shows up in ways that can't be faked, especially behind closed doors. It's not about what he does for show, it's about how he makes you feel when no one else is watching. It's in the way he stays present, how he craves emotional connection, how he slows down to match your energy, how he holds you after like it still matters, how he allows himself to be soft with you, and how your pleasure becomes just as important as his own. These are not the habits of a man chasing a moment. They're the signs of a man who's choosing you deeply and intentionally. Because when love is genuine, intimacy stops being just an act and becomes a reflection of the kind of bond every woman deserves to feel.